So after I finished the overnighter, I was curious what my fuel economy was. So I did have a section between York and Beverley that I filled up. I filled up in York and then I filled up in Beverley. So I had exactly the amount that I knew I used by the time I got to Beverley. So I'd used 10.52 litres, and for our American friends, or 2.8 US gallons. We'd done 208.8 kilometres, or 129.7 miles. And it was a combination. If you look down the bottom, the combination road conditions, it was mostly paved roads, a little bit of red dirt, and then some red dirt corrugated. So there was a sort of mix of conditions. The bike was fully loaded up. I'm a fairly heavy guy. I'm 95 kilos. And I had all the camping gear and bags with me. So the bike was fairly loaded up. It was fairly heavy. And there's only about 1,000 kilometres on the bike at the moment. So when I calculate what the fuel economy was, I get about 5 litres per 100 kilometre, which translates to about 2.1 US gallons per 100 miles, or something like that, 46 miles per gallon. The tank size is 20 litres. Now the reserve is actually difficult to work out because I haven't drained it to reserve. I was looking on DR Riders, and there is a Perth a 2019 DR. It says he's put a 20 litre tank on and he drained it, and it looks like he's got about 3.4 litres in reserve. So I use 3.4 litres in reserve, which gives me 16.6 litres non-reserve. So that'd be a 5.3 gallon tank, etc. 9.9 gallons in reserve. So if you multiply 20 litres by 5 litres 100, you get near enough a 400 kilometre range from a full tank, if you can drain it right to the bottom, and assuming it's 20 litres. I have read reports you get slightly more than 20 litres in a tank. The reserve looks like it's about 68 litres, and the non-reserve about 330, sorry. So on a normal tank, fully loading DR, it looks like it's about 330 kilometres before you hit reserve, and then you might have 67, 68 kilometres left, and that translates into 204 miles before you hit reserve, and then 42 miles in reserve. Now I was actually looking on the interweb, and there was a guy on YouTube on the other side of this. So the other side of this is what I picked up from YouTube. There's the DR Rider bit down the bottom, who said you get 3.4 litres in reserve. On the top, according to this, he gets 5.3 in a 5.3 gallon tank, which is the 20 litre tank that I've got. It says we were on reserve at 480 kilometres. Now that's 100 kilometres more than I can get on a full tank. And when you work out the numbers, that's 3.4 litres per 100 kilometre. I just don't think that can be right. It just doesn't sound right. That sounds like an awful low mileage in terms of economy. If you got 480 kilometres till you hit reserve, that's like 550 kilometres on a tank, which I don't think anybody in the DR world will be getting. So that doesn't sound right to me. I think there's an error in that calculation somewhere. There's just something wrong with that calculation to me. And he did say it was a fully loaded DR with panniers and 2 up, I think. And so, I don't know. But he says there's still an inch of fuel left in the tank. So it does sound like an awful lot. And even if that was the full tank, it's more than I'm getting on a full tank. I'm getting about 400 kilometres on a full tank. Right, that's assuming fully drained. and this guy's getting 480 with an inch left of fuel. So I don't know, it just doesn't sound right to me. And so I had a look around. There's actually a website called Fuelie, which I'll go to next. So again, on the web, I found this website called Fuelie, and DR60 is listed there. Now, I have no idea if this is verifiable or where they get the data from, but you can see here, well, you can pick your units. So I've picked litres per 100 kilometre. You can pick miles per gallon or whatever you want to pick, so it's quite a good website. And you can see here the range it's getting. So it says it's sampled 46 Suzuki's DRs, have provided 289,000 kilometres of real world fuel economy. And the range goes from 4.1 to 7.6. And I've calculated I'm 5. So, essentially I'm on probably the low side of that number. Anybody that's getting 7.6, that does seem pretty high. There might be something wrong with these bikes up here. But anyway, if you assume it goes 4 to say 6 is a good average, and I'm lying at 5, I'm right in the middle of what everybody's saying they're getting. So the other guy who says he's getting 3.4 litres per 100 litres per 100 kilometre, he's way off this graph. He's way down here by himself, or by herself, I'm not sure who it is. So I think there's either an error in that YouTube video or it's false data. It just can't be right. You can't be getting away down here when the rest of the population's up here. So as I said, I'm sitting right in the middle here, about 5 litres per 100 kilometre, which seems about right to me. So as I said, I'll be getting about 400 kilometres of full tank and about 330 kilometres before I hit reserve. So if I work on anywhere from 250 to 300 before I hit reserve, I reckon that's pretty good. So those are the numbers from my DR. Your DR might be different. Run it, see how you get on, and post in the comments what you get. I'd be interested to know what all the numbers you're showing. Thanks very much. Hope this helps you.